It's Steve Holden in for John Stratford this afternoon. Let's start with this story that's coming out of the Southeast Asian country of Laos. The Foreign Office confirming that it is helping British tourists who are in hospital after allegedly drinking contaminated alcohol. 4 people from other countries have already died. Now, this happened in the backpacker town of Vang Vieng last week. Let's get some reaction from Lloyd Figgins, who's CEO of the Trip Group and also a travel safety expert. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, Lloyd. What's your response to these reports, which are really concerning?
Well, first of all, Steve, our thoughts go out to the victims of what has happened here. As you said, 4 dead, at least 6 Brits in hospital, and up to 12 people possibly affected by this. The sad thing is this is not unusual for this part of the world. Southeast Asia has a history of this sort of bootleg hooch that tends to go around, and it tends to go in phases, but it often starts with a free drink, and that free drink is often to entice people into a bar in order that they then carry on paying for their drinks after that free drink. So it's not something that we, it's not a surprise in many respects, but tragic nevertheless.
Now, while you've just been answering that question, we've just literally had this in from the Foreign Office. We've had a spokesperson send us this statement who said, "We are supporting the family of a British woman who has died in Laos, and we are in contact with the local authorities." So the Foreign Office confirming there that there has been a death of a British citizen now in Laos. I guess this highlights the importance of staying vigilant, which isn't always easy to do when you are having a fun time on the holiday of a lifetime.
No, and it's one of the things that we often try and tell people to do, and what we refer to as situational awareness, and making sure what that means is basically making sure that you are aware of your environment, what's around you, who's around you. And in the case of going out for a night out, we talk about something that we refer to as shark watch, where this is where you have one person within your group, which you can rotate, that volunteers to not drink on a particular night, and they are on the lookout for anything untoward, and that includes somebody who might appear more drunk than they should do given the volume of alcohol that they've actually had. And then the next thing is, if you see something like this, and it could be a drink spiking, or in this case, methanol poisoning, which is obviously a toxin, get help immediately. Get that person to a medical facility as soon as possible and let the medical professionals deal with it.
I guess there's a lot of common sense to be had as well, because sometimes you just wouldn't do this kind of thing in your hometown, would you? You wouldn't just accept a free shot that somebody is giving you that you don't even know.
No, exactly. And of course, one of the things that when we go away, particularly if we're backpacking, we're in an adventurous environment, we tend to let our inhibitions down, and we tend to do the sorts of things that we wouldn't do. And our advice very strongly is don't do that. Make sure that you are in an environment that you're not familiar with. Therefore, you need to have this heightened situational awareness in order that your travel, your adventures are memorable for all the right reasons.
Lloyd, thank you for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
That is Lloyd Figgins, CEO of the Travel Risk and Incident Prevention Group. That is the Trip Group, and also a travel safety expert.